everyone. Welcome to Ditto. We're excited to be here with you today. Matt, how are you doing?
Ashley, I'm good. Yeah, things are good. It's funny. Every time someone asks me that, I go, yeah, we're good. We're navigating life. Have I mentioned that on the podcast
Yeah.
before? That word
You've
for
said that
me,
before. I mean, you've said that to me
yeah,
many times.
I think it just kind of sums up at least my current experience, my family's current experience. But things are good. They really are. They're good. How
Yeah,
are you, Ash?
that's good.
Everything okay?
Yeah, things are good. Navigating life as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all we can do and just try to enjoy the navigation along the way, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
exactly.
know. I know.
Well, do you have any dad jokes for us today? Or
I
did your
do. I'm
dad
so
send you
glad
any?
you. I know. The last one was my dad. In fact, this one my mother sent me.
Oh, so it's
I
a
think
mom
they're,
joke.
yeah, I think they're both catching on that I do this for a living.
So it's a
I
great,
tell jokes on a podcast.
great
This
parents.
is a comedy podcast after all.
Yeah, one
And my
day.
mom sent me this. So, uh, Ashley, what do you call an alligator in a vest?
I know this one.
You do?
Yes,
Do you
an
want to like say?
investigator.
Yes,
Sorry.
bravo. Good job.
That's a
That's a
good
good
one.
one. Yeah,
Yeah,
an
I like that one.
investigator. I
Yeah.
know. I thought
Oh,
it was good.
thanks for
I'm
sharing.
glad you got it.
I'm glad
Is
you're a
is
parent.
that the first one you've got?
I think so. I
It
think that's the
might
first one
be.
I've gotten like cleanly. Oh, we got the
Yes.
producer chiming in.
Oh, producer in the
He's
background coming in.
keeping tabs.
He's always keeping tabs. That's why we always have to like
Yeah.
not cuss and tell dirty jokes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Keeps us in
Okay.
line. Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
sorry if my voice sounds a little off. I have a little bit of I don't know if it's allergies or what, but a little
It is kind of the season,
stuffy.
for that.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
Matt, can you tell us a little bit about Pat Summitt and her
Yeah.
legacy and what we're going to talk about today?
I know. Okay, yes. So, Pat Summitt, for you folks out there who live under a rock, and that was not a joke, you guys. She is one of the winningest college basketball coaches of all time. In fact, I believe she's still the winningest, yeah, like by far, women's basketball coach ever. She was at Tennessee for 38 years. So she is what you call a VFL, a vol for life. I consider myself a VFL, but not even close to the
How many years were you
to the
there?
standard. I know, 3 out of 38. So Pat coached women's basketball, the Lady Volunteers, what they call them, for 38 years at the University of Tennessee. Won multiple championships. I should have that number at the top of my head, but I don't. Anyway, she won a lot, and continued to increase the winning culture essentially at Tennessee, like year after year after year. She came in when women's Tennessee basketball was hardly anything, and just increased its popularity and recruitment, and ultimately winning national championships.
Wow.
Amazing woman. She actually unfortunately died in 2016. I believe she had Alzheimer's disease. She coached through that disease, if I remember correctly, for a number of years, and then
Wow.
eventually, unfortunately, passed in 2016. If you go to UT's campus, by the way, when I say UT, folks, I'm saying University of Tennessee. I am not saying University of Texas. So
Just to make
you,
that straight for all our
yes,
listeners.
you Texas Austin people can go somewhere else. The OG UT is Tennessee. If you go to UT's campus in Knoxville, there's an awesome statue of her in front of the basketball arena.
That's
So
cool.
like if you go to UT, it's going to be like 3 people that are higher than God himself. Maybe a little sacrilegious to say that, but nonetheless. You have Peyton Manning, you have Pat Summitt, and you have Morgan Wallen. Those 3, everyone and anyone associated with UT, you're going to know a lot about those folks. So anyways, one book recommendation before we get into some of the things that she's so popular in, yeah, implementing into the game of college basketball. I just got done reading this book. It's called Sum It Up. Pat Summitt, Sum It Up. And it's a wonderful book. I'm actually listening to the audio version, and I think it's read by one of her like players that she coached, really good friends. And of course, she's got this accent because she's from Martin, Tennessee, like in the sticks. And she had that accent. If you go back and watch interviews of Coach Summitt, she has a deep Tennessee accent. It's so wonderful. Anyways, wonderful book. If you want to learn about leadership and coaching and culture, I highly recommend it.
And that was written by Pat Summitt?
No, it's
Who's the author?
Let me tell you. So it was written by her, but essentially put together by Sally Jenkins. I think they pulled a lot from her like journals and her experiences that she had actually written. Okay. And then Sally, from my understanding, kind of put it all together and put it into this book. It's one of a few books about her, but that one is my favorite, and that's the one I have read. So, okay. And I think it's the newest book as well.
Okay.
Anyways, so today, for not too long, but I want to go over some of these things that she's really famous for. In fact, she's famous and very popular for saying, for implementing kind of tactics and techniques around what she calls Coach Summitt's definite dozen. Okay, so she has 12 things, definite dozen, that she was really popular for in terms of, hey, if you're going to be on this team, if you're going to play for UT, these are the things. This is the standard. This is what we're going to be doing on a daily basis. How are we addressing these things? How do our behaviors inform these things every day, every week, every season? So let's go through these definite dozens. What do you say, Ash?
Let's do it.
And then we can kind of give our thoughts on, from your own experience and maybe some of the literature, blah, blah, blah. So number one, respect yourself and others. This one it's an obvious one, but I think one that gets neglected often.
Yeah.
I have this one actually.
So simple, but so powerful.
Right, it is. And I have this one actually in my syllabi for when I teach my classes at the university. One of my things is you got to respect others. It just promotes so much more engagement when you know that from a literature standpoint, psychological safety is present, right? So when you speak up or when you share your thoughts or when you mess up inevitably, you don't feel like you're going to be judged negatively, right? You're respecting the human being, you're respecting others. And that includes the coaching staff and vice versa as well. The coaches need to respect the players. Your thoughts on number one? Have you experienced this? What would you add? What would you say about that one?
I mean, I think there's a reason why this is number one, because I feel like it's kind of like a foundational, like you said, that you put it in your syllabus, like to just create an environment of mutual respect. And I think especially in a competitive environment, respect is paramount, just because if you want to learn and you want to grow and you want to compete against those that you're learning and growing with, you need to have that mutual respect. And so it reminds me of also like the golden rule, just treat others the way you would want to be treated, like create an environment that you would also want to be in. And so, I think it makes like perfect sense to have respect yourself and respect others at the top of her list.
And you just said it. It's not just others, it's yourself. And so having some self-compassion, right, for when you fail, when you experience challenges and setbacks, vitally important. You got to be able to have a good relationship with essentially failure and respecting yourself throughout that process. Awesome. Number one, respect yourself and others. Number two, take full responsibility. I love this one, especially for that age group. So I'm going to ask you, Ash, when you were in college, how was this one?
For me or just everyone?
In just your experience. I mean, what's your take on number two for college athletes?
I think it's
especially.
huge. I think college is the first time in your life where you're truly out on your own and
Hmm.
there's no one to answer for all your mistakes or all your accomplishments, or there's no one telling you what to do and what not to do. Like, you're the one that's making decisions and you're the one that is reaping the rewards or suffering the consequences, whatever they may be. Hopefully, lots of rewards.
Hmm.
But yes, the first time you're out on your own, you have to like actually experience this full responsibility of just life in general. And I think college is a great place to do that. I mean, because you still, like, especially if you're a part of an athletic team, like, you still have people around you that are hopefully influencing you for the better. But at the end of the day, like, you're responsible for all your own actions.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't agree with that more. It's amazing how every semester, just from an academic standpoint, how many students experience this like a shockwave.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Because it's like, oh, I don't have my parents or anybody tell me to go to class and I can do whatever the heck I want and I can go and I can leave and blah, blah, blah. It's like they don't take roll. None of this stuff. Maybe some classes might. And then they realize, oh, if I want to do well, I have to really take responsibility for my actions. And you're
Mm-hmm.
right. For so many college students, this is the first time, and it can be a rude awakening for many of these college students. And especially, I wasn't a college student athlete, but I've been around a lot, especially if you're a student athlete, because you have so many things you have to do Monday through Sunday, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hour by hour, right? And you have to go and make sure you're checking those things off. And if you're not organized, you're not taking responsibility for those things, man, you can falter and the stress and anxiety can really set in.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, number 3, you ready?
Yeah.
Develop and demonstrate loyalty. I love this one. So it's like this sense of support and allegiance or devotion to yourself, like she mentions in number 1, and to something, and especially in this case, to for the culture of Tennessee women's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is really, this one, at least for me, really speaks to culture and becoming a part of that culture. And hopefully it's a strong culture. I know we had Coach Morgan Scally on a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago, and he talked extensively about how important this is, like how they recruit players that where they become them, we don't become you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
this is a part of it. That loyalty, that support, that devotion, when everyone is in sync, not the singing group, not the boy band, but when everyone is in sync and on the same page and cohesive, the loyalty, I think, can really speak to that ultimate success. And so some examples that I think of, especially in athletics, and obviously I'd love your thoughts. An athlete showing loyalty to their team despite limited playing time.
Yeah.
Or maybe they get put in a spot where they don't really want to be. I'm a striker. Why are you putting me on defense?
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on number 3, Ash?
I think this one is a really good one for a lot of the reasons that you said. I think it's really cool. And as we read through the rest of these, this sentiment is relevant in all of them, I feel like. But I feel like she gives room for her players to grow into these things. Like, she doesn't expect them to come and be like perfectly loyal right away, but she says
Mm-hmm.
develop it. You're going to develop it while you're here and then demonstrate it. So, like,
Yeah.
grow into this, and I think that's really cool, and I think that speaks to how she probably was as a coach. But yeah, similar to what you were saying, we often say you represent, in soccer we have the crest, which is like our team
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
emblem. We say you represent the crest 24/7, no matter when you're on the pitch or off the pitch. And I think that's a huge sign of loyalty when
Yeah.
you're taking accountability for what others may perceive of the crest because of what you are doing. And
Right.
so, like, what are you deciding to do with your free time? What are you posting on social media? Like, of course, you can still be your own self and have your individual, like, likes and preferences and style, but what message is that sending about the club as well? And I think that's also really important because you represent something so much bigger than yourself. And so that's kind of what I think about when it says like develop and demonstrate, mostly demonstrate that loyalty. And then what you're saying as well on the day to day of like whatever role is being asked of you, you can show your loyalty by doing that role to the best of your ability.
Yeah, I love that you pointed out the fact that there's so many action-oriented words, growth-oriented, progressive type of oriented words, and each of these so far. You have respect, you have take, you have develop, demonstrate, and then this next one, number 4, learn to be a great communicator. She didn't just say learn to communicate. She said learn to be a great communicator. Again, for this age group, vitally important. I can't tell you how many emails I get from students that have 3 words and like their last name. And there's no subject line. There's no addressing me as Dr. Moore or as professor or even like Matt. Like, they're not throwing anything in there. The communication is so vital for this, for, yes, students from my perspective, but now we take this to a team perspective and think how vitally important that is for their success. If you as a team aren't communicating well on the court, off the court, God, it's going to be hard for you to find success anywhere. Thoughts on number 4?
I think this one's huge. I think even not communicating is communicating, if that makes sense. Like you're always communicating,
Totally. Yeah.
you're always communicating something. And if you choose not to communicate, you kind of just leave it up for interpretation for the other person or those around you to interpret that the way they will. And oftentimes more than not, it's not a good thing. And they're probably thinking something maybe not great about you. Maybe you think you're too cool, you're too stuck up, whatever. So I think communication is huge, not only in a team environment among your teammates, but also among your coaches. And I think it's in your best interest, honestly. I think in this younger generation, we see a lot of avoidance, and mostly because I feel like that's like easier, just to like, whatever, I'm going to avoid the situation and let it play out the way it's going to play, or just hope that things work out. But I think it's in all of our best interests to become great communicators, because then we will get our points across, we'll get our perspective across. Like that's how things change, and that's how things move in the right direction as a group. And yeah, I think learning to be a great communicator is vital for a team, but also for an individual.
Yeah. And I know you can say this with every single one of these, but these are going to help you in life. Like, it's not going to only help you be successful and win national championships at the University of Tennessee, but I think how vitally important communication is, Ashley, and being married to somebody. Learning to be a good communicator with that partner is really hard, but really, really important.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5, you ready? Discipline yourself so no one else has to. I love that one. Discipline yourself so no one else has to. Basically, in my mind, it's doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. And that really sets elite people apart from not so elite people.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, especially in being in the sport and in the profession that you're in.
Yeah, I mean, I love that she doesn't just say like accountability because I mean, accountability is great, but discipline yourself so no one else has to just like paint such a more clear picture of like what that looks like. So like if you want to get better at something, or if you made a mistake, or if you have to own up something, or whatever it may be, I feel like discipline can mean a lot of different things, but doing that for yourself, taking accountability, taking the right steps in the right direction for yourself, it just empowers you so much more. But if you wait around and it comes to a point where someone else has to do it for you, you just lose so much so much more power in the situation, and also you just become a problem that someone else has to deal with instead of, being a force for good and moving in the right direction, holding yourself accountable, like not being, you know, a weight to the team and not having to be dragged along. You're pushing along with everyone else.
Totally. Totally. And again, what a wonderful opportunity at that age group, college, to start learning the wonderful gift, the wonderful attribute of being a disciplined individual. Hard, but
Yes.
man, it's going to be vitally important for you.
But once you learn the power of discipline, it'll change your life, honestly. Like once you learn how much power it can add into your life and how much you can accomplish when you become a disciplined individual, it's amazing. And I think there's often a lot of negative connotation behind the word discipline, but I think that it's honestly a superpower if you can learn how to be a disciplined individual, especially at such a young age.
Yeah. It was, so I was a personal trainer for like 6 years, strength and conditioning coach for a couple of years. Honestly, I think it was the number one attribute that I was hoping my clients, the people I were working with, would acquire. Because if you can find discipline, you're going to ultimately see results, and that's the whole purpose. So, awesome. Okay, you ready for number 6? We're almost halfway done here. Number 6, make hard work your passion. I love this one. Number 6, make hard work your passion. To illustrate this, I want to share a quote, and I just read this quote the other day. It's from Usain Bolt, the fastest human being to ever walk the earth. This is what he said. I trained 4 years to run 9 seconds, and people give up when they don't see results in 2 months. Make hard work your passion. Ashley, thoughts?
I love it. I 100% agree with it. And I think a lot of people make the mistake of making the results their passion. But like we've had many, many conversations about, like if you make the process, the day-to-day grind your passion, then you'll actually see those results, and you'll be able to pay attention to those small details that will actually make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was Tom Brady who famously said, "You want to know which ring is my favorite? The next one." So that idea of making, and he was so passionate about working very hard. And I would argue he was one of the best to do number 7, this next one, which is don't just work hard. So make it your passion, work hard, but don't just do that. You also have to work smart. So that's number 7. Don't just work hard, work smart. And I want to invite everyone listening to go back to our deliberate practice episodes. There are 2 of those. We outline several steps, expert steps, as the acronym goes, that really alludes to this. I tell this to my students often, and they're kind of surprised when I say this, because it's not like a cop-out, but I get emails, I get questions, and students come into my class asking me something, and immediately I'm like, whoa, you're making this way too complex. Like, let's distill this down. Let's work a little smarter, and we don't always have to work harder. Hard work is important, but sometimes we need to stop and go, simplification, more deliberate, more intention, so I can actually see those results, quicker rather than later. Thoughts on number 7?
I 100% agree with that. I think sometimes it's hard to know what working smarter looks like, especially when we grow up sometimes in a culture of like, if you don't know the answer, just keep working, just work harder, do more reps, do more sprints, like just do more. And so I think that's where, when you're part of a team, that's where you can get insight from those around you, whether it's a strength and conditioning coach, a mental performance coach, or a tactical coach, video coach, whatever it may be. And you can sit down and you can point out those areas and okay, like what granular details can I pay attention to that are going to help me work smarter. And there's always a time and a place for just reps, but there's also a time and a place for quality over quantity. So I think recognizing when you need more quality and when you need more quantity, and a lot of the times finding that quality can be hard, but once you do find it, that's where you start to make a lot of progress. And for me, I always used to be kind of a quantity over quality person. Like, I just need to feel like I'm working hard. But then as I started to learn more about my game, learn more about this game of soccer in general, I feel like I also found ways to work smarter. And I mean, you mentioned Tom Brady. I feel like there's a reason why he was able to play for as long as he did. And it's not because he wasn't working hard, but he also, as you get older, you find ways to continue to improve and do the things that are going to make you better, but maybe aren't as much wear and tear in your body. Like, can you watch more film? Can you study the game more? Can you
Nutrition,
do
recovery.
nutrition? Yeah, exactly. All that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that's a really good one, especially for college-aged individuals, because I don't think I really learned this until maybe like a couple years ago, to be honest.
Yeah. But I think it comes with that, the trial and error experience, you know, type of orientation or type of acquirement, if you will. You know, being able to work smarter and really figure out what works and what doesn't takes time. But if we're deliberate about it, like we've mentioned, you'll find those steps that will make you better. And Tom Brady, I know he was viewed as kind of weird in some of the things he did, but you can't argue with the results, right? So like what he was doing obviously was very smart and very hard, but it was very successful.
Yeah, I'll also add one more thing, and that this may not be intentional, but in my opinion, I think there's a reason why make hard work your passion is before number 7. Don't just work hard, work smart, because I think you have to work hard first before you can learn how to work smart.
The precursor, if you will.
Yeah,
to working
exactly.
smarter.
Because I feel like
I love that.
sometimes, especially as younger players, like you think you can work smarter, but you don't have that foundation. Like you haven't been there yet. You don't know it. You don't know the ropes. It's like a freshman coming in and trying to like learn how to work smarter, but they have no idea how things work. And so, in my opinion, I think you need to learn that hard work before you can start working smarter.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, very good catch. I think she did that for a reason as well. Maybe one day we'll be able to ask her.
Yes.
Number 8, put the team before yourself. I like this one. It's interesting. What are your thoughts? You're obviously you play in a team sport, so this is very much part of your experience.
I think this one is so powerful if everyone can get on board, and I would love to see how this would work with Pat coaching in the NIL world that we live in today.
Totally.
But yeah, I think this is a foundational theme that if you can learn this not only in your team environment but also like in life, like you were saying, like in a marriage, you will have so much better relationships. And it's not a natural and normal thing to do, especially in a competitive environment where you're trying to beat the person next to you for more playing time. But ultimately at the end of the day, if you're putting the team first, whether that's you getting as much playing time as possible or you getting some or none, the intentions and the attitude and the effort that you put in while doing it will align with the team, and it will create a better group for sure.
Yeah. We've mentioned on this before. It's amazing what happens psychologically when we think about others. And whether that's service and just helping a neighbor, helping a family member, or if it's high competitive sport like playing basketball in Pat's case. When we strive to help someone else get better, and serve them, it's this weird magic thing that happens psychologically and emotionally. We feel more centered. We feel calmer. We feel like we can handle more pressure. And I think we gain more insight into our own selves and how we can ultimately get better as well when we're putting the team first. I remember, in fact, when Coach Scally was on, this kind of came up towards the end. Do you remember? And he goes, yeah, we tell team players this all the time. Like, if you want to go be about you, and if you're the individual, go run track, go play tennis, because this is a team sport.
Yeah.
And if we want to win, we have to win collectively. Can't do it by ourselves. And that goes for soccer. That goes for basketball, especially. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, that was number 8. Ready for number 9? Or did you have another thought about number 8?
No, I was just going to say number 8 is such a good one. And I feel like when you add money into the equation, it makes it really difficult because especially as a professional athlete, you hear people say like, get your bag, like
get your bread.
Take care of yourself first. Like you got to make sure you're valued, blah, 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 which is true.
Yeah.
But for me, I would much rather, and this could probably be a hot take, but I've been playing the game for a long time now. I would much rather be paid obviously a fair value for my, contributions to a team, but be among other players who also are bought into the team and want to put the team first and are willing to work hard and work together, than be the highest paid player individual on a team that who knows what kind of the intentions are of everyone else. And because I think you learn so many more valuable insights, and being a part of a group that's like that, I don't really feel like you can put a price or a dollar sign on that. But if you don't value that as an individual, then I don't think that you'll find that. But just for me, the teams that I've been on where it is like that, I've just had so much fun playing and competing and showing up every single day. And for me, it's more of a quality of life thing. I want to be happy and enjoy what I'm doing. And when you put the team first and you're in an environment where everyone is doing that, then it will come back to you and you'll feel valued and you'll feel loved and you'll feel cared for. Whereas being on a team where it's okay, you may be getting your bag or getting your bread or whatever it may be, but you could be absolutely miserable. And for me, I don't know if that's something that I would really want to trade off.
Yeah. I love that you said that because I've heard this. And again, I think Coach Scally even mentioned this. Patrick Mahomes, I think he's the 14th highest paid player in the NFL. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this.
Something like that, yeah.
I'm fairly certain he's not even in the top 10. And I would imagine, I think he's alluded to this. It's because football's a team sport. He doesn't want to take all the money. He doesn't need all the money, frankly. So get me what I'm worth, but I don't need to be the highest paid player in the league because I want to win, and I'm in a sport where the team is the standard. There has to be team before me. And I think Patrick gets that, and I think it's one of the many reasons why they've been so successful in Kansas City. I'm hoping they lose this year, by the way, because I'm a Broncos fan. Go Broncos. But anyways. Okay. Number 9. This one's awesome. Make winning an attitude. We've mentioned this before in this podcast. My 3 controllables, if you will, in sports psychology is what we like to call APE, like a monkey, APE. And it stands for you can control your attitude, your preparation, and your effort. And so I love that she put this because it is something that we can control for the most part. Make winning an attitude. What are your thoughts on that, Ash? I love this one.
I think it's great. I think your attitude is something that is felt by everyone, whether it's good or it's bad. One of my favorite quotes growing up that I heard, I have no idea who said it, but it really stuck with me, is everyone brightens a room, some when they enter and some when they leave. And I think that's true with a team. You can have someone that enters a locker room and it just lights everyone up. Everyone loves being around them, and you can have a player who can come into the locker room and everyone hates being around them because it just sucked the energy out of the room. Yeah. And I think, when it comes to winning, if your attitude is on par with, that winning mentality or that person that's just always wanting to compete and help the team improve and get better every single day, then I think ultimately that is what winning is.
It's amazing how controllable it is, and it's also equally as amazing how infectious it is, like you just said.
Yeah.
When you are the person with a positive or effective attitude, man, it wears off on your teammates, especially if you're playing a team sport or you're in business and it's your colleagues. So be that person. And maybe there's a person that's like that you want to emulate. Go tell them and ask them how they got a good attitude. What do they do to have a positive attitude? Or maybe it's someone that's really negative and what John Gordon calls a energy vampire. They suck the attitude, the negative. They have the negative attitude, and so they're sucking all this energy away, positive energy away from the team. Well, go address that and be the person with this type of attitude. It just makes such a huge difference in body language and many other things that goes on, especially in a team or collective environment. Mm-hmm. Okay, number 10. Be a competitor. Be a competitor. This is an interesting word, competition. In fact, I just ran across this like a year ago. Competition. The Latin origin for competition actually indicates that one is striving or straining together with others, which I think is really interesting, rather than this kind of Western indication of dominating or beating your opponent. Mm-hmm. I really like that interpretation of it. Competition, being a competitor, be willing to strive and strain together as a team. I mean, and it's one of the many reasons why teams can be so close. Like my sisters, my brothers, it's because you go through really hard things together and you're literally putting your bodies on the line together, getting injured together, you're beating others together, and you're competing against others and striving against other competition or other teams together. What are your thoughts on this one? Be a competitor.
I love it. I love the definition that you shared as well, because I think often when we think of like being a competitor or competing, we often think about just ourselves. But when it's so true, like you said, some of the like best times were some of the worst times that we were competing together. Totally. Whether we like played in terrible elements of like rain or snow, or whether we were like battling the grueling summers of preseason in college, running the beep tests and coaching camp and doing 2-a-days and playing way too much soccer, but absolutely loving it because we're exhausted and we're helping each other through it, or we're in the middle of a beep test and we're both wanting to get to a certain level. And it's like, come on, you can do it. You've got it. Like, that's where you just learn and grow, and you create this unbreakable bond that just like will be with you forever, but is also something that helps you in the games or helps you just in life when, you need someone to be there for you. You know what that looks like. And so I think being a competitor is a great one to have as a part of her list. Mm-hmm.
I mean, similar to sport, from a much perhaps dramatic lens, the military, there's a reason why they become so close. I mean, it's life or death, so you can't get any closer than that. But they're literally straining and striving together, and they become closer than family members are or were. Mm-hmm. And so, having that mindset and being a competitor and promoting that amongst your teammates, man, it can create so much chemistry and ultimately success, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Okay, we have 2 more, folks. Number 11 is change is a must. Change is a must. Ashley, do you want me to share my favorite Chinese proverb with you?
Yes, please do.
Ooh, should we do like Chinese proverbs of the day maybe on this podcast? Here it is. When the winds of change blow, some people build walls while others build windmills. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm. I like that.
It's going to happen. Mm-hmm. You're going to experience NIL. You're going to experience COVID or some extent of that or some variation of that. So being able to adapt is a must, especially as a leader, but I would argue as anyone in any collective type of environment, especially in sports. Mm-hmm. Change is a must. Ashley, thoughts?
Yeah, and it honestly is a must. And I think if you, like, if I was the same person my freshman year as I was my senior year, I think I'd have a lot of concerns. I think change, like you said, it can be your circumstances, it can be an environment around you, but it can also be you as a person and the type of person that you are because of the lessons that you've learned and the things that you've gone through. And I think if you're any competitor, any, ambitious individual, you want to change. But sometimes that change doesn't come exactly how we are hoping or expecting. And it's often those experiences that allow us to change way beyond what we thought we would be able to or what we'd be capable of. And so, yeah, I think it is a must. And I think recognizing it or maybe even seeking it is really, really important, because that's kind of what our purpose here is on life, is just to continue to learn, to continue to grow, and to continue to get better and serve those around us. And so I love that she said change is a must, because I 100% agree with her.
Yeah, and I think a huge part of this is seeking out those opportunities. One being feedback. I mean, if you're in sport and you're an athlete, having that relationship with a coach, maybe it's not the head coach, but a coach, someone that's watching you and analyzing you and seeking their feedback. We talked about this in deliberate practice. It speaks to number 7, working smarter, seeking that out. And I know it's going to be hard sometimes because they're going to tell you what you're doing wrong. And I know that hurts a little bit, but man, it's how we grow, and it's how you ultimately become better. And it's a must. That change, that growth is a must. I love it. Okay. You ready for our last one? This one, like all the preceding 11, I love, but I really do love this one. It goes like this: handle success like you handle failure. For me, what really sums this up, what really summits this up,
But
Pat Summits, is humility. Humility, I think, can get really lost in the clouds in high competition, especially collegiate and professional sports. What are your thoughts on this one?
I love this one because I don't feel like we talk about how people handle success enough, because I think failure is very obvious and it's difficult to handle, or it's easier to like empathize with people when they're going through failures and whatnot. But oftentimes we leave people to just handle success however they want to, and it's just like whatever, they deserve it. Or I've often heard too that like winning hides problems because you're winning. But
Totally.
I think the way that we handle success is a true testament to our character and the type of person that we are and the type of person that we also want to become. So I think it's very wise of her to encourage her players to take a look in the mirror and recognize how they handle success.
And especially at that level, and even more so at the level you're at, Ash, there are so many people watching you, and especially young people. You become gods and goddesses to these people. I remember watching older athletes, even in college, and thinking, oh my gosh, if I could be like that dude, my life would be great. Like, he has it all. And to watch how they handle these setbacks and how they handle success, everything, it can be such an amazing example for the people that are coming up. But on the flip side, it can also be a horrible example, because when you do fail, or maybe when you do have success, you're really arrogant about it, or when you fail, you're really emotional about it, and all you say are F words. It's like people are watching, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of this is your teammates are watching you, your coaches are watching you, the public's watching you. And then it starts to, I think, affect your own inner experience. If you're handling this from an emotional regulatory lens, it's going to get stronger, your emotional regulatory process. And I think that's a huge, huge part of it. So,
Yeah, I agree.
Pat Summitt's definite dozen. They're pretty cool, right?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, it's one of many reasons why this lady was so successful in her coaching career. So I hope you enjoyed this, folks. Highly recommend looking up more of her work and videos and who she was as a person and as a coach. She was awesome. And then if you ever get a chance to go to UT and be in Knoxville, go take a picture in front of Pat's statue. Maybe we'll attach that to the episode. I think there's even a picture of me in front of it, and that would be really special because people want to see my face as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'd love to see that. Please share.
Okay.
Oh,
Anyways.
man.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, Matt, do you have a quick ditto of the day from our conversation about Pat Summitt's definite dozen?
Oh, man. Yeah. There's 12 really that I could put in this one, right? Mm-hmm. But I think I'm going to do it this way. My ditto of the day after reading Pat Summitt's definite dozen would be, you got to stand for something. Mm-hmm. There needs to be values. There needs to be goals. There needs to be standards that you strive for. And maybe they're the definite dozen. Maybe there's your top 3. But make sure there's something that your behaviors need to inform and that your values are informing as well, vice versa. And so that would be my ditto of the day, to distill that down if you don't have those, to figure that out, to do some self-reflecting, collective reflecting, and find out what those are. And please use what others have done, like Coach Summitt. Use it as inspiration and then tweak it to your own culture, your own team. So what about you, Ash?
Yeah. I mean, I 100% agree with you, but I'm going to change mine because I was going to say something like that. I was just going to say the importance of whether you're a leader or a parent or you're in charge of some sort of group of people, like recognizing that taking care of your culture is really, really important. And oftentimes you need to focus on the things that will make people grow better as people first, and that will then translate into your culture and just create a better environment in general. So I think a lot of her definite dozen here, they're just real life things that if you're better at this, then you'll be better in life, but it also contributes to the team and contributes to the culture, and paying attention to your culture is going to help you get those results. So I think culture over kind of tactics is kind of my ditto of the day for me.
I love that. Yeah. Bravo. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share. What else is it, Ashley?
Like, share, comment, subscribe. All of the
things.
Do
the things.
We would greatly love it and appreciate it. And we appreciate you all being here and listening. And we look forward to next time.
Yes, we do. Bye, everybody.
Bye.